Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. I really wanted to show you what I've been working on, and I'll start with a little demo and then I'll finish it up with a little overview of how I structured the project and glimpses into code and how I managed it. So, to start off, we have just a normal home page with a nice slider, and at the bottom I provided links to my submissions for the other challenge parts. Another thing that Jack of course would like to check out is like the GitHub repo, and perhaps just a little bit of my documentation on user stories, product backlog, and how I design state management in the app. So on the left we have this list of opportunities. Now these opportunities aren't hard coded, they come straight from the database. So as soon as I add a table into the database, into the opportunities table, it'll show up here on the left. And if we click on them, we can see basically a grid of different kids that can show you, their name, their picture, their age, and their gender. And then I could just switch between different opportunities to get the different kids in each of them. Now, not only did I do that where you could access it from the menu, but you could also access it directly from the link if you know the link name. If you try to access a link, an opportunity that isn't there, like let's say ill, that's a mistake, then the app can handle that gracefully and send the user back home. And then on the top we have like filters. So we have this drop down menu where you could specify just male filtered, and we get all the boys. Female shows all the females, and we could use this age slider to specify an age range from 7 to 8. Harper is the only girl in the back to school that's from 7 to 8. So if I claim her and I confirm, I get a double confirmation, I click it, and I get a nice little pop-up telling me that I've claimed her. So if I refresh by clicking filter again, or if I just refresh the page, then we'll see that Harper isn't there anymore. Well, actually I can't refresh the page because it resets the filter, but just to do due diligence, if I set the filter back, we can see that Harper's not there anymore. So yeah, that is pretty nice. One more thing to say is for Jack, if he has the Redux Dev Stores tool installed, the Google Chrome extension installed, what you could do is you can look at different actions, which are basically events that are triggered, and how it affects the state of the app. And one more thing to mention, that of course I made the app to be responsive, so it works fine on tablets and phones, for example. Now, just to do a brief talk about how the app is set up. So basically I split it in between the server and the client. One way to approach making a website is that you could have the server serve the views directly to the user. But the route I went with is that I created just a single page app with Angular, and it talks to the server via REST API. And I found this approach really good in my experience because you're separating the concerns of producing an API and consuming an API. So I know that if I just want to focus on the front end, I just go to the client and work on that. And then if I need to make modifications on serving the backend, I just go there. And usually these two folders will be big enough that they warrant their own separate repo, GitHub repository. So yeah. And simply the server code is just a REST API built with Node TypeScript that just makes queries to SQL. And that's the gist of it. I really, well, one more thing I'll say is that I think the most interesting work that I've done in the client would have to be in the app state. This is where it's like a lot of the design goes on making the app centered around events and actions. And my experience and skills with ReactiveX, which is a library for observables, I think is pretty clean. And I think it separates me from your standard developer. And yeah, thank you for checking it out. I had a blast doing it. Maybe I spent a little bit too much time on it because I really wanted to just not just make the bare minimum requirements, but I also wanted to make an app that was robust and could respond to, you know, different situations or the REST API failing. So yeah, I really wanted to show you my skill set. That's why I poured everything into it. And I would love to hear back from you guys soon. Thanks.